How's it going, everybody? So, to me, health is about building adaptability, building your internal resistance. It's about becoming robust. It's about becoming so powerful on the inside through your nutrition, through your herbs and whatever supplements you choose to take, being so powerful on the inside from mindset techniques, from learning how to mold your internal energy. By building the the type of energy that you really want to see and feel and manifest in your physical world, by giving your body the nutrients that it needs to build robustness, to adapt to the physical, mental, and emotional stressors of life. Building your immune system to the point where external infectious diseases and other things don't affect you the way they affect the majority of humans. I am about building superhuman health and becoming superhuman through your nutrition, through your mindset, through your herbs, through your exercise, and through how you view life. What I find is fundamentally the first problem most people have is their philosophy. Their philosophy about health, philosophy about nutrition, philosophy about what's actually healthy and how to achieve health, their philosophy about what matters in life, and then obviously their tendencies and behaviors tend to be completely warped, completely in opposition, and preventing them from actually achieving what they really, really want in all these areas. I believe in becoming superhuman, building robustness and adaptability, and to me, that is what health really is, okay? So obviously, finding your own, so if you have autoimmune illness, digestive illness, diabetes and metabolic diseases of all kinds, and cancers and metabolic disease too, you need to find a nutrition protocol that will reverse that, or at least relieve your symptoms while you find the root cause, right? That can be as easy or as complicated as you want to make it. It depends on what you're willing to go through. But generally, the hardest and most strict protocols are also the simplest and easy and most effective. Crazy enough, but most people can't go through those things, but that's fine. But after you have solved your basic health conditions, like I did, you hit a point where you realize, I've solved my chronic health condition that I've been obsessing about for years. And I no longer have that anymore. So now what do I do? Well, now you can focus on, what do I want in life? And then how do I optimize that through nutrition, herbs, supplements, and mindset techniques, okay? So at a baseline, to me, it seems very obvious that red meat and whole animal protein should be the base of the diet. After that, lots of people, they feel better when they add fruit to their diet. And some people, like even myself, after you heal your chronic gut dysbiosis or whatever was causing your symptoms through a strict meat diet or whatever, you find that you can actually tolerate grains and other things again. And so the thing is, you don't want to just add white rice that has no nutrition. Maybe add black rice or purple rice or red rice that has certain polyphenols that can improve cognitive function and other things, similar to blueberries and fruits that have those pigments as well. Adding back some of these foods that aren't just to make you feel good or pleasureful. They're not just to give you glycogen and glucose, and they're not just to give you magnesium and minerals. They also have specific tonic-like properties to them. Like, for example, in bananas and blueberries, there's some compounds that can improve brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is a cognitive-enhancing substance in your brain, as well as certain compounds that can improve dopamine functioning, and other things that can help you be sharp, smart, and motivated when you go through your life. There are so many other factors to some of these foods, especially plant foods, that a lot of people miss. And it's important to combine the science with your practical experience so you can actually understand what's going on, because the science is too in the clouds. It's too much jargon that are done on rat experiments and stuff, and it's not enough grounding in people's experience. So you need to really combine people's anecdotes and experiences and what they believe the food's doing in their experience with scientific evidence to get the real truth. So anyway, that's the thing though. So you solve your primary health conditions, and then make meat the base of your diet, and then you start to add things back in that have like kind of medicinal compounds. Now the thing is, lots of people have emotional issues. They have mindset issues, and it's not enough just to solve your nutrition. We're talking about becoming adaptable, building your immune system to where other people who get, these infectious diseases, they have symptoms. They're done. They can't even go to work for 2 weeks. But people like me who really understand this, and I don't just do the meat diet, because people on just the meat diet still get severe symptoms from these things. Even if they have great metabolic health. But I also take herbs and teas and things that have unique properties towards further building that immune response so that I have the baseline level of nutrition that my body needs to build its cells and tissues. I'm not some raw vegan or someone who thinks that the body can survive off prana. I give my body the amino acids and cofactors that it needs to actually build cells that most people are deficient in, and if they had, they wouldn't be eating so much junk because they wouldn't crave it as much. It's pretty much scientifically, it's pretty good, robust amount of evidence that suggests that that's the case. But anyway, I also take things like cordyceps, rhodiola, Polyericus black ant. And I drink teas that I believe have, tonic properties to them, like yerba mate or guayusa. Because not only does it energize me, we're not just looking for that caffeine boost. We're also looking for these polyphenols that can boost the immune system and help protect the body from cancer and stuff like that in unique ways. Other people, they just look at coffee as just to stay cracked out on coffee. I'm like, no, I'm stocking up on all this guayusa to help to build my robustness. Especially considering hunter-gatherers have been drinking yerba mate and guayusa for hundreds of years that we can see in documented history. So the other thing, though, is becoming robust and adaptable to external factors. If other people's opinions offend you, okay, that is a sign that your mental and emotional health is not healthy, okay? You want to build robustness and adaptability to the being triggered. If you're one of these people that is constantly going in the comment section on YouTube or on Facebook or on Reddit or whatever, and you are literally trying to spark up arguments and stuff with other people, usually what you're doing, especially if you're hostile about it, is you're seriously trying to you're triggering yourself. You have an addiction to triggering yourself. And I find a lot of people, they're addicted to negativity, and they're always looking for negativity. And that's really where the law of attraction kind of shines. Even in psychology, confirmation bias, and all these things that are scientifically verified, you are looking for reasons to be upset. And you're always going to find them. And to me, that's a sign of a mental illness. All right? That's a sign of a mental... If you're leaving people 900-word essays about why they're full of crap in the comments, provided it's not constructive or whatever. But that's a lot of words. My college courses, they tell me only to write 500 words, and I write like 900 sometimes. It's like the amount of effort required to write a 900 900-word essay to someone about why they're full of crap, considering a healthy person probably isn't going to read that because they're so busy focusing on their passions. So anyway, because what you focus on grows, and like a healthy person's going to, be really time efficient. And they're only going to focus on things that have some kind of production value, some kind of constructive value to their life and the life of other people. They're not going to be wasting their time telling someone else who's living in a different reality than them, who believes in different things than them, why they're full of crap. And so anyway, being fragile to external circumstances. If you're walking around in the outside world and you're at the grocery store, and you see someone with a shirt, and that shirt offends you, okay? And then you start a fight with them or something. Or someone else like starts to act hostile towards you, and you're not any direct threat, okay? And if you act in a way that is upsetting to you or triggering to you or might potentially cause negative experiences for you, like end you up in jail or something, like that's not an effective, like those are signs of mental fragility. Unless you're like me and you really enjoy martial arts and choking people out in the jiu-jitsu room and stuff like that. You're not just desensitized to violence, but you also enjoy violence. And it's like someone starts a fight with you, it's not going to be some kind of big event. It's like, okay, they freaking started throwing punches at me, and I took them down to the ground and just stayed on top of them until the police got there. It's like I would have much rather just like got my groceries, gone home and cooked my food, but I guess that was exciting. It's like 2 hours that you could have spent more productively, right? But the thing is, the average person doesn't even do jiu-jitsu, and like if they're mentally ineffective and inefficient, they're going to start drama. Drama is like, but they don't realize how stupid it is, because it's like, it's really the most exciting thing that they have going on in their life. This is actually why people cause drama. People cause drama. People cause arguments in the comments section when they don't have exciting things going on in their life. I actually noticed this back when I had enough time to just research health a lot, and I wasn't working a lot when I was younger. That was when I was really engaging in a shit ton of like debates and arguments on social media, and I was more prone to drama and stuff like that. And eventually, when I actually got a fucking life, I realized, damn, people who are really busy don't have time and don't want to spend time, on bullshit like this. And the busier I got and the more involved I got in life, the healthier I actually started to become, socially and financially. The more I started to realize, like, when someone's leaving me a 900-word comment on my video that is not constructive, and I start to look at their comment history and I notice they, or I find their comments in other videos or whatever, I'm like, well, this person just has a lot of time to burn on, arguing with people about crap that's not, these people don't even care. They're both tuned in the same frequency of arguing. So anyway, all of this comes down to an ineffective approach to life, kind of like mental illness in a way, and mental and emotional fragility. So anyway, and I can speak on this because when I was a child, I was diagnosed with severe mental illness that doctors insisted I was going to be in an inpatient hospital for the rest of my life, and I was never going to be able to live a normal life, when I completely changed. I completely, I didn't believe them, and I definitely proved them wrong, because they were wrong. But the problem is most people, they're stuck in that. If they have doctors that tell them that, like, oh, you're just depressed and it's genetics and stuff, then they're just going to be like that for the rest of their life because they believe in it, not because it's actually the truth. But if you're like me, you're not influenced by groupthink. You form your own beliefs and you take your own actions. Anyway, mental and emotional fragility, okay? Being persuaded by external factors, reacting to your environment, okay? Believing that you're a victim to the external environment, whether it's physically, emotionally, and mentally, okay? In my opinion, these are signs of imbalanced energies and a health imbalance. It's something you need to address. Okay? A healthy person's going to have a fun time in life. They're going to enjoy their careers. They're going to do everything they can to enjoy what they do. Okay? Enjoy the relationships they have. They're going to live a life of appreciation. A healthy person has a relationship that they can find fulfillment in. Okay? They have friendships that they have fulfillment in. They have careers that they find fulfillment in. Their diet and nutrition style gives them the energy and mood and things that they need to feel fulfillment in. And it's going to protect them as they're building the internal health, internal immunity to protect them from and be able to adapt to all sorts of external things, whether that's infectious diseases, energetic things like, people who would normally annoy you. They don't annoy you now because your nutrition is so good. You just feel awesome all the time. And then the other thing is sleep. Lots of people in the health space obsess over sleep, and they become a victim to how much sleep they got. And if they didn't get good sleep, then they're like, oh, I didn't sleep very good, therefore, I'm fucked today, I feel like shit today, and blah, blah, blah. For me, I recognize, number one, there's actually multiple intervention trials, studies that show sleep in and of itself does not determine poor performance during the day. Okay, you can get 4 hours of sleep, you could pull an all-nighter and still perform on a high level. In fact, there's some studies that show people can perform even greater and relieve depression through sleep deprivation. But most people, they want to reinforce why they're getting negative results in their day by bringing it back to, oh, I didn't sleep last night, that's why I suck today, right? So for me, it's all about building robustness and adaptability. And it's like, oh, I didn't sleep last night, but that's fine because I have these tonic herbs, I have this guayusa tea, I have this meat that I'm eating. I'm going to do a great job today regardless. And that's what it's all about. So your mindset, your philosophy, your psychology, your nutrition, okay? We need your herbs. That's why we take herbs. So in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, a system that was developed and used for thousands of years, and potentially what we're finding out now is there might have been more advanced technology thousands of years ago that we are not familiar with at this point due to multiple catastrophic events that actually might have occurred and destroyed certain evidence. It seems to be being suppressed, actually. In Chinese medicine, they actually saw emotional and mental manifestations as a byproduct of energetic imbalances that you can modify through your nutrition and the herbs that you take. So Chinese medicine is all about, they see anger, they see obsession, they see anxiety as a manifestation of energy imbalances that are influenced by the herbs you take in your nutrition. Okay, so for example, in Chinese medicine, someone with anger issues, somebody with anxiety or restlessness, they might have excessive heart fire or liver fire. Or somebody, or they might have like someone who feels really depleted, overwhelmed, and exhausted. They might have a kidney yin deficiency. Okay, and then of course the remedy for like kidney yin deficiency would be to eat more things that boost the jing, basically. So anything from eating more eggs with the yolks to consuming energizing tonic herbs that build robustness, according to the scientific literature. Things like cordyceps, Panax red ginseng, things like, or actually that American red ginseng, Polyericus black ant, whatever. But doing things that remedy that energetic system, right? So, a lot of people don't see it that way. People do intermittent fasting to boost longevity, protein restriction, raw fruitarianism, and then they get more and more unhealthy, and they wonder why they feel so crappy, and usually can't see in their videos because they're always chugging sugar. But anyway, they say, "Oh, I'm detoxing," and it's like, no. Actually, your nutrition sucks. So whether you see it as nutritional deficiencies or whatever, you can go to therapy. You can go to therapy if you have anger issues. But if you're an alcoholic and you're consuming a lot of foods that are high in polyunsaturated omega-6 fats, fried foods and things like that, more specifically, things that spike your insulin over and over again, in my opinion. And you're not eating a lot of proteins to support your neurotransmitters and things. If your nutrition's not on check, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to be angry. You're going to have these issues. So it just so happens that Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, who don't directly profit off of antidepressant medications, but they give you herbs and things that are very amazing and effective, that I'm drinking right now, actually. These things are very powerful. So, basically, become superhuman through using nutritional strategies that I share on this channel, different herbs, okay, certain supplements maybe, and mindset strategies like what we talk about using the subconscious mind, affirmations, law of attraction, and stuff like that. Honestly, so for me, I also believe in energetic transmutation. So when I read comments on the internet from people, and I believe that they have an ineffective approach, right? For example, leaving me a 900 word comment about why I'm full of crap. Immediately, I can tell this person has some kind of mental imbalance, and so I am breaking down their comments and the points that they're saying and looking at the logic behind what they're saying. Sometimes I'll make a video response, and the purpose is for me to take their comment and transmute it into something beneficial and empowering. I'm like, well, what can I learn from this person, right? What do I believe about what this person's saying? And how can I use what this person's saying to improve my life? Because most people, when they read comments, especially comments, or they hear people, or they see things that upset them, they start complaining about it, they go on an emotional rampage, and they do all this crazy shit that actually reinforces suffering and misery and pain. But for me, I look at these things and I use it to make me more empowered, to help me, okay? Building robustness through energetic transmutation. Okay, transmutation, okay? It's taking those vibrations and frequencies and making them into something new, okay? And these are kind of things that you can look at through the Hermetic principles. It's really alchemy is what I believe, what I see it as. It's alchemy, because the majority of humans are fragile. The majority of society is fragile. And I don't know if trying to pretend like they're not is the best strategy and the best approach, right? Like use the law of attraction and just ignore the fragility and focus on the strength. And it's like, yeah, actually that's a good idea to a certain degree. But I think another thing that you can do is look at all of it and transmute it. And just understand that those people are the average human. And they just, for whatever reason, may not have it in them to become a superhuman. To me, I see health, strength, robustness, and adaptability as something that anyone and everyone can achieve. But at the same time, I also recognize the meat that I'm eating, the tonic herbs that I'm eating. There might be a limited supply, maybe. But, I know these herbs are very rare. And I don't want the price of my herbs to go up, so I don't know. But anyway, the point is, it's okay. It's actually healthy for you to believe then not everyone is going to be able to become superhuman. Because if you are expecting other people, like, these people at the cancer donation stations that are giving out free candy. It's like, bro, like the candy is not congruent to curing cancer. And yet you want me to give you money for, to cure cancer. And it's like, that money's only going to go to pharmaceutical interventions and stuff. Like, and these people are clearly diabetic or, they're metabolically unhealthy. It's like, it just doesn't, the logic doesn't line up. But it's like, if you expect them to even give a fuck, they don't. And that blows my mind. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't, the point is, you've got to protect yourself, and you've got to focus on focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. You don't want cancer. You don't want to be like these other people and stuff, right? And if they were willing to listen to you, if they were willing to help themselves, you would gladly try to help them. But what are you going to do? You're going to be fragile to it and, be like, affected by it for months, like I tend to be sometimes, like, like society is so fragile and all this crazy shit. It's like, no, let's try to be empowered. Let's transmute these observations to something more empowering. And let's try to uplift the people who want to be uplifted. But anyway, that's the contrast I see, is like there's the average human who's sick and unhealthy and they're completely oblivious to the fact that they're creating their own sickness. But then you have people who are like wanting to be superhuman, right? So it's all about becoming superhuman. That's what I'm really into. And I think that's the idea of health. Robustness, okay? Eliminating fragility and doing everything you can to be adaptable, okay? Persevere through all obstacles. And no matter what, be the engine that said I can, okay? Thomas the Tank Engine or whatever. I can. I'm going to do it. I will do it. There's nothing that can stop me. And the universe is doing everything it can to help me reach my goals, okay? And that's how all miracles happen, okay? It's the power of belief. So anyway, hope this has helped y'all understand. This is like a blueprint to health. You're not going to get anywhere taking green drinks, eating a shit ton of spinach and kale and stuff like that. All it's going to do is make you fart, and it's going to waste your money. Instead, look at your nutrition and think about what kind of foods are going to build robustness, right? People get caught up in these really irrational mindset patterns like, this food's going to hurt my karma, it's going to have spiritual consequences, it's going to rot in my intestine, it's going to bring down my frequency. It's like, how about we look at the scientific literature? How about we look at all the people's experiences who eat this way, all the things people have said about that, and also try to weed out the irrelevant stuff that's only sounds good on paper, like the rat studies on mTOR and shit like that and whatever. But anyway, most people won't vibe, and that's fine. It's all about compatibility. So leave your question, comments down below, and I'll talk to y'all next time.